What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Influence Podcast. My name is Austin Bronner. I'm very excited to be here with you guys today for part two of a two-part episode about YouTube advertising for e-commerce. It's just me. My engaging co-host, Andrew Foxwell, is not able to make it today, so it's just me and Tom. If you have not listened to part one of this two-part series, go back, start there. It's going to make a lot more sense. You'll have a lot more context. You can be in the right place. But if you have listened to part one, you're in for a treat. I've got part two kicking off right where we left off in the last episode with Tom talking about how to get YouTube ads to work for your e-commerce business. So very exciting episode. Happy to have you guys here, and we will dive back into it.
Exactly. I mean, we're doing some work with a company that sells a lot of products around grooming your beard if you grow a beard. Mm-hmm. And we're talking to them, and it feels like there's lots of people out there now, lots of products and service, not necessarily services, but there's lots of products and communities out there already around these products. And it's how do you stand out? Because one product to the next can feel like a bit of a commodity sometimes. It feels like here's a beard oil and here's the next competitor's beard oil. And if you try and say this is the best beard oil on the market, then that's not necessarily going to sell that well. You need to look at it from a standpoint of like, well, why would someone even want to buy that particular beard oil, or kind of the shampoo or whatever you'll call it that goes with that particular brand? And it's about the messaging, the story that goes behind it. So we're talking about, well, maybe it could be the community that they're buying into and what it means to grow a beard to somebody. What's the identity? Now, when we looked on YouTube, we realized that most people go into YouTube looking up the how-to tutorials are either people that are looking to grow a beard for the first time or kind of struggling to grow a beard, or they're in a place where they've got a great big beard and they're looking to style it in a particular way. And those two types of audiences exist. And so as a kind of when we look at the creative aspect of that, it might be that someone who's growing their beard for the very first time, it's actually quite a big identity shift in people. It's like if you like to go and get a new haircut, for example, you know that whilst it's being cut, you're thinking, I'm going to go and see my friends later or my family later. I wonder what they're going to say. And it's almost like an identity thing that can be a bit of mini battle inside your head. And if you speak to that and let people know that you understand it, then at that point, you start building this trust with your brand that is so much stronger. And when you start talking about your product, it's just a natural continuation of what your brand stands for. And if you get that bit right, if you let people know that this is not just a product that does this, it's more a case of this is a product that's right for your identity, or this is the one that connects to you most effectively, that's when people are much more interested in actually buying into the product. It's not buying the product, it's buying into what that product stands for. And if you get that bit right, then it does make advertising a lot easier.
No, absolutely. That is as if you're a commodity, you are going to lose to Amazon. They're coming. If someone's looking for the best beard oil and they don't really care about you don't have a differentiating story, they're just going to go to Amazon. They're going to look at reviews and find out which one are the best, and they're going to go purchase that. I want to talk a little bit about content and creating content with Facebook ads. A lot of times people talk about how oftentimes the best content is like native type content, right? Stuff that looks almost, or you can get away with a lot of videos that look maybe shot on their phone, because that's what a lot of the videos on Facebook are. They're shot on their phone. Same with Instagram. For YouTube, what type of quality do you look at? Is it a higher bar of entry on the creation side? And then you also mentioned something briefly, which I want to touch back on, which is how much do you need to spend for proof? So on the content creation side, what does that level of quality look like? What do you definitely advise people on? And then on the actual campaign running side, what does that mean? How much do you generally recommend people spend over what period of time for proof?
Okay, good question. I'll ask you for more clarifying on that second part of that question. But the first part, in terms of creating content, I feel like YouTube is more closely related to TV than it is Facebook. So as a result, I think the quality of an ad should be higher. That's not to say that's kind of a rule that can't be broken, and it's not to say that without incredible quality video you're going to fail. I've seen plenty of poor quality video that's done very, very well for people. So it's not to say that it doesn't have to be that way, but I feel like the first time you get in front of someone on YouTube, that cold traffic, that video should be very high quality. I feel like you're establishing your brand. People are kind of half expecting that. They're half expecting high quality video. And as a result, the messaging doesn't necessarily need to be the same as what you would see on TV. It can be much more colloquial, much more friendly, and doesn't necessarily need to be trying to be something it's not. It can be very real as such, actually, in the video. But I would say higher quality tends to convert better for cold traffic. If someone's connected with the brand already, say, for example, there's someone in the video and they are kind of easy to remember, or maybe the brand is easy to remember, then at that point later on, you could go to more handheld type iPhone style videos, and that could work. But I feel like you really need to establish your brand and let people know that this is what your brand is about. And then if they connect with that, then you have more of a license to play around with lower quality stuff. But I just feel like with the YouTube video, if you do go high end, not necessarily, I'm not saying like invest thousands and thousands. I think sub $1,000 is still fine. Go down to a studio and you can normally film some amazing stuff, or do it in house with a good camera and good lighting and maybe some good audio as well. You can film some amazing stuff if you're creative with it. But I would say that you're best off doing high quality video with YouTube. I think you'll get better results. But I know that I'll be proved wrong if I say that as a rule. So I've got to be a bit careful with that. But that's what we tend to go for. We tend to go for higher end quality because you don't have to overcome that barrier in people's minds. Then they're like, well, is this a real product? Is this actually worth it? You don't want those questions going on. You want that high quality just to handle some of those or pre-handle some of those objections that some people might have. And high quality videos tend to do that. But then again, like you have things like an unboxing video that can work particularly well. I know that one of our clients has done incredibly well from an unboxing video on Facebook, and they want to run it on YouTube. And I'm like, well, you might be better off refilming that and just make it look much more professional. So just it doesn't necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be the sort of thing where you film it to such a high end that it takes away all the essence of that video, of an unboxing video. But I would say that it'd be a good idea to film it with just like not go for the vertical video, for example, and try and force that into YouTube, if that makes sense. Like it's better off like filming it so it fits into that 16:9 window. It looks high quality. It's filmed nicely. It's not really, really shaky. So it's just you're moving towards higher production quality, but it doesn't necessarily need to be like TV style stuff.
Sure, that makes sense. And then I'll rephrase my second question because I think I definitely want to be more clear. I always think of people will ask about on Facebook how much they need to spend to figure out if it's going to work for them. I generally give people, take 3 months, dedicate a budget of, let's say like $3,000 a month, something like that, to be able to get a test to feel and expect that you might break even. Hopefully you break even over those first 3 months. That's kind of what I'll tell people to give realistic expectations. With YouTube, what are the expectations that you generally give people around budget necessary to figure out if this is going to work? Time frame. Obviously, the more the budget you have, the more budget you spend, the quicker you're able to learn things. But generally, if you're looking at budget and time frame and expectations around success, what does that look like? And what's realistic for people who are dipping their toe in that water?
Yeah, very, very good question. I'll try to answer it. I'll do my best to answer it as clearly as possible. So there's various targeting options inside of YouTube, and to get started with the easy wins, you're going to go with things like remarketing, and that'll be off your website. And you might choose something like keywords and topics and in-market audiences. Now, if you choose those targeting options And you can do some combinations of those as well. So you can say it has to be keywords and topics, which means a keyword targeting is someone's recently typed in that keyword into Google or YouTube, or they've been watching videos with that keyword in it. So you can get some pretty good traffic from keyword targeting, but if you overlay that with topics, so you say, right, it has to be this keyword or these keywords and this topic, then you can find that it means that someone's recently typed in that keyword and they're still watching videos about that particular topic. That's when we get in front of them. That's a pretty specific way of targeting your audience. But if you target that and you're able to spend some money there, then two things will happen. One, you don't need to hardly spend much at all. You could probably spend, let's say, $500. And if nothing in there is working, then you probably got a problem, not with the targeting, but more with the video or the website or something on those lines. It's like you don't need to spend a fortune on YouTube to test it out and see if it's going to work for you or not. If you're not seeing conversions, you need to change things. So that's one way of looking at it and saying you don't need to spend much at all. But the great thing is if you do start seeing conversions and you just let that scale up as much as it will let you, then what you'll find is that with your conversion pixel, you can go and look at all the insights about the audiences that have gone through your conversion pixel. And Google are very good in terms of telling you what else that audience would be interested in. So they might highlight some in-market audiences to you, some affinity audiences to you. They might mention some other ways of targeting your audiences, like your demographics and things in different ways. And so you can use that data to start building out from there. So I would suggest to people, if they're looking to get into YouTube, is to say, focus on keyword targeting to begin with, maybe mix it with some in-market audiences or some topics and play around with that and see what works with the different ads you've created. Once you've got that data in, you'll be able to see if that targeting has worked. You won't have to spend a fortune to work it out or not. If you start seeing conversions in the first few days, you know you're onto something. Even if you lost a bit of money, but you start seeing some conversions coming through, you can quickly optimize. And you can start to say, okay, great, well, that could be ROI positive within 2 weeks. And then you just say, right, well, how far will that scale? As soon as you start getting that, you've got proof of concept and you know you're going to find more targeting options with more keywords, more topics, more in-market audiences. But Google will start telling you where to go next. And that really helps you with the scaling out. So what I would say is that whilst on Facebook, you can choose your interests and you can choose your lookalikes and maybe do some website remarketing as well. With cold traffic with YouTube, because it's already searching for what it is you've got, then you should be able to find that you get some very low cost conversions coming through. And as soon as you see that data, then run with it and go with it and see how far it'll take you.
No, that sounds that's exciting. Being able to have it tell you where to place your ads and scale it up. This has been really, really fantastic. I know I want to we're getting towards the end. I want to wrap it up. But one of the questions I really want to ask you is regarding brands out there who are already doing a fantastic job of creating quality content and then deploying those YouTube ads. What brands do you look at that you say they're doing a fantastic job on the content side? And then maybe on the other side of that would be on the campaign management side.
Okay, cool. So with the creative, one of the best videos I've seen to date for a product is the Chatbooks video. So Chatbooks is a service where it's kind of like an e-commerce service, I suppose, because you download the app and then based on the photos you're taking of your family, it'll then send you a physical product through the post every single month.
Cool,
so it's like
very
a subscription service. Yeah, it's like a subscription service to your life. They call it, it's like having a magazine subscription to your life, which I thought was quite clever phrasing. The Harmon brothers created the video, but if you get to watch the Chatbooks video, it's very funny. Not that I've seen humor work that successfully with conversion rates and like really successful campaigns, but as a video, they've really thought through everything that product does and why people would be investing in it and really do a fantastic job of creating a video for their right persona. A lot of people try and create this like one size fits all ad, and that's a terrible thing to do. You're best off saying, right, let's work out who we're selling to. And if there's 3 people, maybe it's worth creating 3 different ads, or at least 3 different intros to the same ad. But that will be something that you can talk about later. But what you're really wanting to do is say, right, let's create the perfect video for the perfect persona, target them, and run the ads there. And that chat books video is incredible. So it's worth having a Google and finding out about that video and watching it. It's really funny anyway. Even if you don't like the video, you're going to find it, or the products, you're going to find the video very funny. But it does a really good job of pulling together every aspect of what you want to have in a video ad. But that said, the Harmon Brothers are fantastic and known very well for some of their big products like Squatty Potty and things like that, and have had these like viral campaigns. I haven't seen those videos be used for a long, long time, so I'm not sure if it has a limited shelf life and then it can't be used any longer. And that's where running successful campaigns is almost like the flip side of the creative side. So you've got the creative that you want to build, but you also need to build really successful campaigns behind that. And one of the things that I like to do with e-commerce campaigns is to what we call cascading the videos. So you might show video 1 to people. You might create this really good video to showcase the product, and let people know all about this product. Maybe talk about maybe get some testimonials within the video itself, like some customer, like you might have like your customers send in video testimonials of why they love the product. You might do some unboxing in the video. You might show your Amazon ratings, anything you can do to really showcase the video in the best possible way. And it might be a 2-minute video, let's say, asking people to go and buy the product there and then in the video. If people watch that video but don't go and buy, then you want to make a list of all those people that watch that video and follow them up with a second video. This time it might be showcasing slightly different aspects of the product, whatever it might be. But you're following up with video 2. And then if they watch that video and don't convert, you show them video ad number 3. And so you have this like cascading approach where no one sees the same video twice. They're going to see different interactions from you as a brand. And that means that you're not going to have this fatigue issue that a lot of companies have, where they kind of do one video and it runs out of steam after a period of time because everyone's seen it. You want to do it in a way where if they've seen it, they don't see it again, and they'll see a different video or a different version of that video. And if they see that one, you'll show them another one and a different one again. And you cascade these down until the point where you know that, right, at interaction point 4, if they still haven't bought, let's exclude them from any further campaigns for 30 days. And that will mean that you give a fantastic user experience to people, because people are just going to see these new ads from you as a brand like 3 or 4 times. And if they don't go and buy, then they won't see your ads for 30 days. And it means that's a great user experience. And it also translate into a great way of running your campaigns, because it means that you're not going to be spending money on the wrong people or be spending money on getting in front of people over and over and over again. And that's where a really successful campaign can be built out and run in the most effective way.
Tom, this has been fantastic. Thank you for just walking us through all my questions about YouTube from the beginning of like what ads are there to, cascading ads through. This has been really a great episode. For people who are listening and they're interested in learning more about you, where would you best direct them to go connect with you?
Yeah, so the best place to connect is on my website, which is viewability.co.uk. That's an odd one for most because it's normally a .com, right? So this is viewability.co.uk. As we're a UK company, that's where to find out all about us. And then I'm online as Tom Breeze, so you'll probably be able to find me on Facebook and Instagram and those sorts of places as well.
Tom Breeze, easy name to Google. Some of those names you can't Google. Tom Breeze is one you can.
I don't know what's going to come up, but yeah.
Tom, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge. Clearly you are a true professional in this space, and really appreciate it. I think a lot of people are going to love this one.
Thanks so much, Austin. It's been great to be on the show.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that podcast. And if you want to get more information and more great content just like that, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll see the button on the video right now.